On a desolate and mysterious alien planet, the air was thin, and the landscape was a mix of jagged rocks and strange, glowing plants. The exploration team, led by Captain Sarah Mitchell, had been scouring this distant world for weeks, searching for any signs of life or valuable resources. Their ship, the Explorer, was parked a few miles away, a small but efficient vessel designed for deep space missions. Captain Mitchell, a seasoned explorer with a keen sense of curiosity, led her team of scientists and engineers through the rugged terrain. The sky was a deep purple, and the only sounds were the crunch of their boots on the rocky ground and the occasional hum of their equipment. As they walked, they kept their eyes peeled for anything unusual. The team was halfway through their daily survey when Dr. Alex Rivera, the biologist, spotted something strange in the distance. At first, it looked like a small, moving shadow against the glowing rocks. Intrigued, he called out to the rest of the team. "Captain Mitchell, you might want to see this," Alex said, his voice filled with excitement and concern. Captain Mitchell and the others hurried over to where Alex was pointing. As they approached, they saw the source of the shadow, a tiny alien puppy huddled beneath a large rock. Its fur was a soft, iridescent blue, and it had big, round eyes that reflected the dim light of the planet. The creature looked up at them with a mix of fear and hope. Captain Mitchell knelt down carefully, trying not to startle the small being. The puppy's small body was covered in dirt, and its breathing was shallow. It was clear that the creature was in distress. "It looks like it's been abandoned," Mitchell said softly, her eyes filled with concern. "We need to help it." The team gathered around, their initial hesitation turning into compassion. They had never seen anything like this alien puppy before, and while some of the crew members were nervous, they were all moved by its plight. Dr. Emily Carter, the ship's engineer, carefully extended her hand towards the puppy. "It's okay, little one," she said gently. "We're here to help." The puppy sniffed the air, its small nose twitching as it tried to understand the new situation. Slowly, it moved closer to Emily's hand, as if sensing that these strange creatures might offer it some comfort. Captain Mitchell decided that the best course of action was to bring the puppy back to their base on the planet. They carefully lifted the tiny creature, wrapping it in a thermal blanket to keep it warm. The puppy's small, trembling body was a stark contrast to the harsh environment around them. As they made their way back to the base, the team members whispered among themselves, sharing their thoughts and feelings about the unexpected find. Some were excited about the discovery of a new life form, while others were worried about the potential dangers of bringing it aboard their ship. Upon reaching the base, the team set up a makeshift medical area for the puppy. Dr. Alex Rivera, with his background in biology, took charge of examining the creature. He was gentle and meticulous, checking for injuries and signs of illness. Meanwhile, Captain Mitchell and the others cleaned the puppy and provided it with some basic nourishment. The creature drank eagerly, its small body showing signs of improvement with each sip. The team's initial concerns began to fade as they saw the puppy responding to their care. Its eyes, once filled with fear, now showed a glimmer of trust. The members of the crew, who had been skeptical at first, began to bond with the little creature, their hearts warmed by its bravery and vulnerability. The debate grew more intense as the crew members shared their opinions. Some felt that the bond they had formed with the puppy was too strong to break, while others worried about the long-term implications of keeping it. Captain Mitchell listened carefully to everyone's views. She knew that the decision was not just about what was best for the puppy, but also what was best for the crew and their mission. Finally, she spoke up. "Here's what we'll do," she said, her tone firm but compassionate. "We will continue to care for the puppy and closely monitor its health and behavior. We'll also increase our security measures and prepare a detailed report for Earth Command. If any serious issues arise, we'll reevaluate our position." The crew seemed to accept this compromise. They knew it was a tough choice, but it was one that balanced their personal feelings with their responsibilities. As the meeting ended, Captain Mitchell and her team returned to their duties, their minds still occupied with the decision they had made. The alien puppy, now curled up in its blanket, looked up at them with trusting eyes. It was clear that their choice had not been easy, but for now, they were united in their commitment to this unexpected and heartwarming discovery. The exploration team knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, bound by their shared responsibility and the newfound bond with the alien puppy. In the days that followed, the base on the alien planet had transformed into a place of care and learning, all centered around the small, blue alien puppy. The crew's initial uncertainty had faded as they grew more attached to the creature. The puppy, once frail and frightened, was now vibrant and curious, exploring its new surroundings with increasing confidence. Dr. Alex Rivera had taken on the role of the puppy's primary caretaker. Each day he conducted gentle examinations, checking the creature's health and monitoring its progress. He had set up a small medical area with various supplies, and he worked closely with Dr. Emily Carter to ensure the puppy received the best care possible. They had discovered that the creature's diet required a special blend of nutrients, which they carefully prepared each day. One afternoon, as the sun cast a warm glow through the base's windows, Emily walked into the medical area carrying a small, plush toy. The puppy, now more active, immediately perked up at the sight of the toy. Its tail wagged excitedly, and it bounded over to Emily, who laughed softly. "Looks like someone's feeling better," Emily said, offering the toy. The puppy nuzzled against it, its earlier fears replaced by playful energy. Meanwhile, Captain Sarah Mitchell watched from a distance, observing the bond between her crew and the puppy. The sight of the creature interacting so freely with her team brought a smile to her face. It was clear that the decision to keep the puppy had been the right one, despite the initial doubts. In the common area of the base, Lieutenant Mark was busy setting up a new play area for the puppy. He had fashioned a small enclosure filled with soft materials and safe toys, creating a space where the puppy could explore and play without any hazards. His eyes softened as he watched the creature explore its new playpen, showing how his concerns had transformed into genuine care. As the days went by, the puppy's trust in the crew grew stronger. It learned to respond to their voices and even began to recognize individual faces. The crew members took turns playing with the puppy, and its playful antics became a regular source of joy and laughter. One evening, after a long day of work, the team gathered in the lounge. The puppy, now comfortable in its environment, lay in a sunny spot, its small body stretched out in contentment. Captain Mitchell took this opportunity to address her crew. "We've come a long way since we found this little guy," Mitchell began, her voice filled with warmth. "It's amazing to see how much he's grown and how he's become a part of our team." Dr. Alex Rivera nodded in agreement. "He's not just a pet. He's a symbol of what we can achieve when we work together and show compassion. This experience has brought us closer and made us more aware of the connections we share, even with creatures from other worlds." The crew agreed, reflecting on how their interactions with the puppy had changed their perspective. The creature had become more than just a curiosity or a responsibility. It was a living reminder of their ability to make a positive impact, no matter how small. One night, as the base settled into quiet, Captain Mitchell found herself in the common area, where the puppy was sleeping peacefully in its bed. She watched the gentle rise and fall of its tiny chest, feeling a sense of pride and contentment. The puppy stirred slightly, opening its large eyes and looking up at Mitchell. There was a moment of connection, a silent understanding between them. Mitchell gently reached out and stroked the puppy's soft fur, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. This small alien creature had not only survived, but thrived, thanks to the care and dedication of the crew. It had transformed from a frightened, abandoned being into a vibrant and beloved member of their team. The bond they had formed with the puppy was a testament to their shared humanity and their ability to embrace and protect life, no matter how unexpected. As the night wore on, the base remained calm and peaceful. The crew knew that their mission had taken an unexpected turn, but they were united in their commitment to this new, heartwarming responsibility. The alien puppy had become a symbol of their unity, compassion, and the remarkable connections that could be forged even in the vast, unknown reaches of space. The day had come for the explorer to leave the alien planet. The crew bustled with activity, preparing the ship for departure and securing all equipment. The once empty cargo holds were now filled with scientific samples, personal belongings, and, most importantly, the alien puppy, who had become a cherished member of their team. Captain Sarah Mitchell walked through the base, her eyes scanning the busy scene. Crew members carried boxes and equipment, their movements efficient but tinged with a hint of sadness. The team had grown attached to this strange, beautiful world and its unexpected guest. The puppy, now lively and full of energy, followed them around, its tail wagging and eyes bright with curiosity. Dr. Emily Carter and Dr. Alex Rivera were finishing their final checks on the medical supplies and the special dietary provisions they had prepared for the puppy's journey. Emily looked up from her work, a small smile on her face as she watched the creature play with a new toy. "It's amazing to think how much has changed in such a short time," Emily said, her voice filled with a mix of nostalgia and happiness. Alex nodded, giving the puppy a gentle pat. "He's grown so much since we first found him. It's like he's been with us forever." Meanwhile, Lieutenant Mark and Tom, the technician, were in the cargo hold, making sure the puppy's play area was secure and comfortable. Mark adjusted the soft bedding and checked the safety locks, ensuring everything was in place for the journey ahead. "We're almost ready," Mark said, looking over at Tom. "The playpen is secure, and the puppy should be comfortable for the trip." Tom gave a thumbs up. "Good. I just hope he adapts well to the ship. It's going to be quite a change for him." Captain Mitchell gathered the crew for a final briefing before departure. The meeting took place in the base's main hall, where the crew stood in a semicircle, their faces a mix of excitement and apprehension. "All right, everyone," Mitchell began, her voice strong and steady. "It's time to leave this planet and head back to Earth. I want to thank each of you for your dedication and hard work. We've accomplished a lot here, and we've done it together." The crew members nodded, their faces showing their pride and satisfaction. The alien puppy, now sitting calmly in its playpen, looked up at them with curious eyes, sensing the importance of the moment. As the team finished their preparations, Captain Mitchell and Dr. Alex Rivera made their way to the ship's bridge. Mitchell took her seat at the controls, while Alex ensured that all systems were functioning properly. The ship's engines began to hum softly as the countdown to departure started. The crew gathered on the observation deck, watching as the base grew smaller and smaller in the distance. The alien planet, with its strange, glowing landscapes, slowly receded from view, leaving behind memories of their unexpected adventure. As the explorer broke free from the planet's gravity and entered space, there was a collective sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment. The crew had managed to complete their mission and care for an alien life form in the process. The puppy, now securely settled in its designated area, seemed to sense the change. It curled up on its soft bedding, its big eyes watching the stars outside the ship's windows. Emily, who was nearby, gently spoke to the creature. "You're going to love Earth," she said softly. "There's so much to explore and so many new things to see." The journey back to Earth was smooth, with the crew taking turns caring for the puppy and sharing stories of their experiences. The creature had adapted well to life on the ship, and its playful antics continued to bring joy and laughter to the team. As the explorer approached Earth, the excitement among the crew grew. They had a new mission now, to introduce their beloved alien friend to the world. Captain Mitchell and her team were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that their journey had been made richer by the unexpected companionship of the alien puppy. The base on Earth was abuzz with anticipation as the explorer prepared to land. The crew knew that their adventure was far from over. It was only the beginning of a new chapter in their lives and in the story of their extraordinary discovery. The explorer descended through Earth's atmosphere, its sleek hull cutting through the clouds as it approached the landing site. Below, a crowd had gathered, eager to catch a glimpse of the returning ship and its remarkable cargo. News of the crew's discovery had spread quickly, and people were excited to see the alien puppy they had heard so much about. Captain Sarah Mitchell stood on the bridge, watching the landing gear deploy. Beside her, Dr. Emily Carter and Dr. Alex Rivera were busy preparing the final reports and checking the status of the alien puppy. The little creature, now familiar with the ship's routine, was resting comfortably in its play area, its small body curled up in a blanket. As the explorer touched down, the crew felt a wave of relief and anticipation. The ship's engines powered down, and the crew began their final preparations for disembarking. Captain Mitchell took a deep breath, knowing this was a significant moment for both the crew and the alien puppy. The cargo bay doors slowly opened, revealing the bustling scene outside. The base was filled with scientists, journalists, and curious onlookers, all eager to welcome the crew and see the alien puppy. The crowd cheered as the crew stepped out, their faces filled with pride and excitement. Dr. Alex Rivera carried the puppy's playpen, carefully wheeling it out of the ship. The creature's eyes darted around, taking in the new sights and sounds with a mixture of curiosity and wonder. Emily walked alongside Alex, holding a small, portable scanner to monitor the puppy's health. Captain Mitchell addressed the crowd, her voice clear and strong. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience and excitement. I am proud to introduce you to a very special member of our crew." She gestured to the playpen, where the alien puppy was now the center of attention. The crowd let out a collective gasp as they saw the tiny blue creature. Cameras flashed, and people murmured in awe. The puppy's big eyes scanned the crowd, and it wiggled happily, clearly enjoying the attention. The media quickly surrounded the crew, asking questions and taking photos. Mitchell, Emily, and Alex answered as best they could, explaining the puppy's journey and their efforts to care for it. The public's reaction was overwhelmingly positive, with many people expressing their admiration for the crew's compassion and dedication. As the crowd settled down, the puppy was introduced to its new home. A specially designed habitat had been set up at the base, complete with soft bedding, toys, and a space for it to explore. The habitat was designed to mimic the comforts of the ship, while providing a safe and stimulating environment for the puppy. Emily gently placed the puppy in its new habitat, and it immediately began to explore, its small paws padding across the soft floor. The crowd watched with smiles as the puppy sniffed around and played with its new toys. It was clear that the creature was adapting well to its new surroundings. Later that day, the base held a small ceremony to officially welcome the alien puppy and celebrate the crew's successful mission. Captain Mitchell, Dr. Carter, and Dr. Rivera were honored with medals and certificates for their bravery and dedication. The alien puppy was given a special plaque, marking its new status as an official member of Earth's scientific community. As evening fell, the base's lights twinkled like stars, casting a warm glow over the area. Zorax was excited for the future and eager to continue his culinary adventures. He knew there was still so much to learn and explore, but he was ready to embrace whatever came next. His journey on Earth had just begun, and he was determined to make the most of it, bringing his passion for food and his unique perspective to every dish he created. As the months passed, Zorax had become an integral part of Mia's kitchen. His unique touch had transformed many dishes and brought a fresh perspective to the restaurant. The success of his fusion creations had not only delighted the customers, but also earned him the respect and admiration of his colleagues. He had finally found a place where he felt at home, but Zorax was still driven by the desire to explore and learn more about Earth's culinary world. One day, as Zorax was preparing a new dish, Mia approached him with exciting news. "Zorax, I've been talking with a food critic from the New York Times," she said. "They're interested in writing a feature about our restaurant, especially your fusion dishes. They want to visit next week." Zorax's eyes widened with excitement. "That's wonderful news, but it also means we need to make sure everything is perfect." Mia nodded. "Exactly. I know you've been working hard, and I trust you to help us shine. Let's make sure everything is ready for their visit." Zorax threw himself into preparations for the food critic's visit. He spent hours refining his recipes, ensuring every ingredient was fresh and every dish was presented beautifully. He wanted to make a strong impression and show how Earth's traditional flavors could blend with new and exciting ideas. The day of the food critic's visit arrived. The restaurant was buzzing with activity as Zorax and the team prepared for the big event. The critic, a well-known figure named Julia Harris, arrived with a small entourage. She was an expert in food and had a reputation for being both discerning and fair. Julia observed the restaurant with keen interest as she took her seat. Zorax greeted her warmly, explaining the concept behind his fusion dishes and the inspiration he had drawn from Earth's diverse cuisines. Julia listened attentively, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. As the dishes began to arrive, Julia took her time savoring each bite. Zorax watched anxiously as she tasted the macaroni and cheese with a twist, the spicy taco pizza, and the rich chocolate dessert he had created. Her expressions were a mix of surprise and pleasure, and Zorax felt a surge of hope. After the meal, Julia took Zorax aside for a brief conversation. "I must say I'm very impressed," she began. "Your dishes are creative and flavorful. You've managed to capture the essence of Earth's food while adding a unique twist. It's a refreshing change. Zorax beamed with pride. Thank you. I've worked hard to blend the traditional with the new, and it's been a fantastic journey learning about Earth's food culture. Julia smiled. Well, it shows. I'll be writing a positive review, and I'm sure it will bring more attention to your work here at Mia's Kitchen. Keep up the great work, Zorax. The review, published a few days later, was glowing. It praised Zorax's innovative dishes and the way he had brought a fresh perspective to Earth's comfort food. The restaurant saw a surge in customers eager to try Zorax's creations, and Mia's Kitchen became one of the hottest dining spots in the city. With the restaurant thriving, Zorax felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had found a way to make his mark on Earth's culinary scene and had built strong connections with the local community. But he was also aware that his journey was far from over. There was still so much more to learn and explore. One evening, as he walked through the city's vibrant streets, Zorax reflected on his time on Earth. He had come to this planet seeking new flavors and experiences, but he had gained so much more. He had discovered a new passion, built lasting friendships, and found a place where he truly belonged. Zorax knew that his adventure was just beginning. There were other cities to explore, new cuisines to try, and countless opportunities to continue his culinary journey. He felt excited about the future and eager to see where his path would lead. As he returned to Mia's Kitchen, ready for another day of cooking and creativity, Zorax felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was embracing a new chapter in his life, one filled with endless possibilities and the promise of more discoveries. His journey on Earth had been incredible, and he was ready to continue exploring and creating in this amazing world. The future was bright for Zorax, and he was eager to see what the next chapter of his adventure would bring. With a heart full of excitement and a mind brimming with ideas, he looked forward to the many new experiences and opportunities that lay ahead. The crew gathered around the puppy's habitat, enjoying a quiet moment of reflection. The little creature was now a beloved symbol of exploration, kindness, and the extraordinary connections that could be formed across the universe. Captain Mitchell looked at her team, a sense of accomplishment and pride in her eyes. "We've come a long way," she said softly. "And this is just the beginning." Dr. Emily Carter smiled, watching the puppy play. "It's amazing to think about how much we've learned and how much more we can discover." Dr. Alex Rivera nodded in agreement. "This little guy has already made a huge impact. I can't wait to see what the future holds." As the crew enjoyed the peaceful evening, they knew that their journey had created something truly special. The alien puppy had not only changed their lives, but had also brought people together, inspiring wonder and hope. The explorer's mission had ended, but the story of the alien puppy was just beginning, promising many more adventures and discoveries to come.